Hello guys, what's up? So I want to go over what I was talking about a few videos back about society and the shackles of society and what that represents and why that's such a bad thing. And what I'm actually complaining about. What is it that I'm angry about? Because I think that needs a very clear explanation, because people always don't understand what I'm talking about, what I'm actually protesting against. You see, you have to look at the small picture and the big picture. Look at the big picture. Society is a set of programs, okay, given to us. From the day we're born, you are given a set of programs. You have to act this way in front of these people. You have to say this thing to this person. You have to thank this person for this thing. You have to, not talk to this set of people because they don't agree with our beliefs, and they, are this and that, and they're terrible. And, you have to, when you grow up, go to school. When you're not an infant anymore, you go to school, follow this set of parameters. You have to get good grades to pass a class. You have to do all this busy work and get it all done, and then you can piss away your youth in school, completely get all of your enthusiasm and creativity beaten out of you because that's not needed anymore. It was needed in art class and music class, and then can't have that anymore once you're old enough. Then you go to high school. You're given all this societal training, on how to enter the real world and, how to associate with other people, and then once you get to college, you get this individualized set of programs for your role in society and what job you're going to be doing. And if you don't follow the program and get that training, you will be disowned by society and completely kicked to the curb. So yeah. And then you go to your job for the rest of your life, piss away your entire lifetime working as a slave for a company, a corporation that doesn't care about you, never cared about you. And then you get your retirement at the age of 75, 80 years old. They push it back almost every year, so you're probably never going to get your retirement in your lifetime. But if you actually make it that far, then you're going to have Parkinson's, arthritis, and you live out the rest of your days in a wheelchair. That's what society does to you. You can never really live. You can never really enjoy, because everyone tells you have to follow the programs. You have to listen to what you're told. You have to get a job. You have to do this. And to you, it sounds so crazy that I'm saying that you could live another life, that you could actually enjoy the world without having a job. You could actually have food, shelter, and water without working, quote unquote, for it. And I'm not talking like this idealistic society, like communism or anything. I'm not talking about that. It's not even political what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is it's all a bunch of constructs. It's all a bunch of crap, okay? It's all make-believe fantasy. It is dogma. Look up dogma, what that means. Look it up right now. That is all of society. It's this set of beliefs that doesn't really exist. It's brainwashing. It's a cult system. And when you realize that it never really existed, that none of this is really, really real, okay? Money is just fabric that has faces printed on it with special ink, it's nothing really that special. When you realize that, you realize that, like, things you thought that had value, like gold, silver, um, you know, maybe, I don't know, you know, cars, or I don't know what you value, but even maybe houses, they really aren't worth as much as you think they are. You know, there's, like, stocks, for example, aren't really worth that much. It's mostly a, like, pre-rigged game most of the time. That it's this group of people that just sets it up a particular way. They set a dollar amount on something, and that's how it goes. It really had no value. It was just a made-up thing to keep a game going. It's the game of Monopoly, essentially. When you really realize that you don't actually own the properties, you own the cards that are the deeds to the property, you realize it doesn't really matter. You can still own the property without owning the cards. It's just paperwork. It's nothing more than, whatever. When you realize that the money was worthless in the first place, Monopoly money, that's the thing. It's not really real.
Season finale, not series finale.
So, that was the point of the video. You are living in the Matrix. You're living in this fantasy. And it's a very well-constructed fantasy. That's what society is. It's just this fantasy. It's not really real. These morals, these rule sets, and all that is not really real. None of it is. The laws, and it's all just paperwork. It's all just words. There is no value to it. It has no physical properties. It's just these ideas that are enforced on us, whether or not we agree with them. And they don't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. Again, there's no physical value to anything that is presented to us. So that's what I'm trying to get at, and you can't escape that. It's everywhere. It's been so heavily integrated into our lives that you can't escape the system around you. There's nowhere to go. It's not like you can say, oh, I'm done with society, I'm just going to stop paying my taxes and I'm going to stop paying my bills, and I'm just going to live out the rest of my days on my property. That's not how it works anymore. You can't. There's nowhere to go. You're trapped. You're shackled to the system. And it really has nothing to do with politics. This is the confusion that comes from people. They say, oh, well, but that's the way it is. You have to pay your taxes. You have to, pay your dues to the government. And you have to pay for what you own. Well, I already own it. That's the thing. The government doesn't own my land. Why should I have to pay rent to them? It's my land. That's the point. Just like, I'm in favor of a barter system because it's an agreement between individuals. What this is entirely is something completely different. It's, pay the ransom or go to jail. Essentially is what the system is. And you're held at gunpoint constantly to do things you don't agree with, things that go against your morals. So that is what I'm against. And it's not the individual. or groups. It's not the school, for example, to take a very microscopic view of society. It's not the school, the people in the school. It's not even the administrators. It's not my teachers, my students. Well, not my students, but my peers. It has nothing to do with that. It's not that I hate any of them. It's that I hate the fact that the system was never good in the first place. You know what I mean? It's just busy work to get you to follow the program, essentially. There's no value to it. It's a waste of time. And it was set up that way on purpose. It's, that's the thing. And it's not that I don't value education. That's the individualized thing. Okay? But it's that I don't value busy work. I would say 90% of school is just busy work. It's never anything worth anything. I mean, the most I've ever learned was in elementary school, and past that I never learned a single thing since. I've learned little itty bitty things, like useless facts here and there, and maybe some advanced algebra stuff, but besides that I really haven't learned much. And some physics. Physics I actually learned quite a lot, and that was one of my favorite things to learn about. But besides that, I haven't learned much. Especially in high school, I can only name a handful of things I've learned. Most of my learning has been outside of school. It's been self-exploration, exploration about the world, researching things that interested me, and learning how things worked. That was all outside of school. I was never given the opportunity to look at anything I wanted to look at in school. It was always, this big guy in a business suit wrote this law that you got to learn about this thing. You got to follow the program because they made the program. So we're just running it for you. That's essentially what my educational career has been like, and that's why I hate school so much, is that it was never an individualized, it never took an individualized approach to our dreams and aspirations. It crushes that and tells you, no. You do what we want you to do. You can't do your own thing. No. You must follow what we say. But this isn't even about school. This is just about society in general. It's always been rigged. So you fall into the same trap that everyone else has fallen into. And it's made in such a way where you can't really escape from it, because they convince you that there's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. You can't live without it. It's the mass I can't even talk. It's the massive cult. Once you join, you can't exit, and you joined at birth. So, I'll go into it later. Not right now, I have to go. But I'll go into it later how you could leave, or manipulate it, like Neo did in The Matrix. You can't really quite leave like that. It's not that easy to just leave it, but you can definitely learn from it, and change it, manipulate it in such a way where you can make it better for other people and yourself. So that is basically it. Hi. So that's all I had to say, I guess. So Stay safe. Stay happy. I'll see you guys later. This was a nice walk. I appreciated it. So, just like you should every day. Really. Today could be your last. Not to jinx anything, but it could be, so always try to appreciate every moment. And if you're not appreciating something, then change it to make it so you can appreciate it. And that might be internally, not externally. So, happy to do the talk with you. See you guys later. Love you all. Peace.